As a business owner, you look to surround yourself with a team of qualified individuals and professionals who can advise you on what's best for you. So, as you look for a financial advisor, here's 5 questions that I would ask. One, are my interests first? Under no uncertain terms, are the interests of me, the client, do they always come before the interests of you, the advisor? In other words, are you always going to put my interests first? Or are you going to steer me in one direction or another because you're compensated more one way or another? It's often called the fiduciary standard, and it was something that I would ask for under no uncertain terms. I would not accept for exemptions and interests and made this, that's, or ifs, ands, or buts. No, are my interests always first as a client? That way, you, the advisor, are always advising me. Second, what services are offered? And I'd be very particular here because what I don't want to hear is just a laundry list of services that are rattled off very quickly. Instead, what we're looking for is an advisor who's thinking about you and your specific financial circumstance and saying, here's the services that we offer and here's how they apply to you. So, for example, if I'm a business owner, business is doing well, I'm in my 40s, we're cash flowing heavily, I'm not really interested in your Social Security maximization strategies. Instead, I'd want to hear more about tax mitigation strategies, investment opportunities, financial planning. Let's dig into that a little bit further. What exactly do you mean by financial planning? Do I have a written financial plan, or is this just something that lives in your head as the advisor? Third question I would ask is, how are you paid? And again, this is very similar to the first question in the sense that it should be very straightforward. How are you, the advisor, compensated for working with me? And again, I don't want there to be ifs, ands, or buts, or well, sometimes we get commissions on this or that. No, a very traditional way that you're seeing now in the marketplace is to invest in stocks and bonds, and a percentage of that money is paid to the advisor. The idea being that as you grow it, the advisor shares on the upside. Conversely, should the market fall, should your investments fall, then you have a little bit less and the advisor's paid less. We look at things a little bit differently at Delta Wealth in the sense that we look at your entire net worth. We strip out the value of your house, and then we look at that value and we charge you. So whether or not you go into stocks, bonds, real estate, startup businesses, whatever it is, we're advising and looking for the best investment for you. That's a very straightforward answer as to how are you paid. We're going to look again for commissions, and we're going to look for other ifs, ands, or buts. Fourth question I would ask is, how often do we speak? So I know you probably have a monthly newsletter that you would get from your team, and maybe there's some email blasts that are kind of generic, but how often are you giving me a call? How often are we connecting? And this is critical because your financial plan should be tailored specific to you. And a great financial advisor is going to continue to have iterations of your financial plan by speaking to you to understand not just what you're saying, but how you're saying it and additional questions that they may have on the back end of that. So a great financial advisor is going to say, hey, back during COVID, I know that you were very concerned about the stock market crash and it fell down 30% in 30 days. So with that in mind, and I know the market's had some great runs here in the past 3 years, but let's keep some additional money in bonds because you had that prior concern. And if the market fell again, look, no one saw COVID coming. If it fell again, we're not kicking ourselves, okay? So speaking regularly helps your financial advisor, not just with the investments, but the financial plan and truly giving great advice to you. The final question that I would ask is, what processes do you have in place to lower my taxes? So as a business owner, you know that taxes are one of your largest expenses in life. The decisions you make on the front end with investments are going to filter through into the back end on your taxes. So what can we do to position you for a successful tax season a year, 2 years down the road by making the right investments today? A great financial advisor should be able to list off, a series of at least 3 to 5 processes that they have in place to mitigate your taxes. And that way it's repeatable and you're able to focus on having more additional after-tax money to grow and to enjoy with your family. Thank you so much.